Let's get right into it. Number 10. Find anyone's digital footprint. Every username you've ever used, every forum you signed up for in 2009, every profile you made and forgot about, you think that stuff is gone, lost to the digital ether. It's not. The tool that unearths it all is the Cite: operator. It's a command that tells Google to look only within one specific website. Type Cite: followed by a domain, then a name in quotes, like this, Cite:reddit.com, John Smith. Google will now surgically search only inside Reddit. Every post, every comment, and every username tied to that name. You just bypassed Reddit's own clunky search function. Google's is infinitely better because it has indexed the entire site with ruthless efficiency, seeing connections the site's own search has long forgotten. Now try it on an old forum, a blog platform, any website you used a decade ago. Then, type your own name into this, your own old usernames, see what comes up. That opinion you posted on a political forum in 2011, thinking you were anonymous, it's still there. That anonymous username you used on a fanfiction site, Google likely connected it to your real name years ago through a shared email or a cross-posted comment. This is how employers and online sleuths connect the dots. The internet doesn't delete things, it just buries them, and Cite: is a power shovel. Number 9. The Word Excluder. Most people just tell Google what they want. Experts also tell it what they do not want. Put a minus sign right before a word with no space. Google will completely erase that word from your results, removing any page containing that term before you even see it. Want to look up Jaguars? The animal, not the chronically disappointing football team? Type Jaguar minus NFL. All the sports results, the team stats, the merchandise, it all vanishes, leaving only the majestic big cat. Searching for a chocolate cake recipe, but you are sick of scrolling past someone's life story? Type chocolate cake recipe minus blog. You get ingredients and instructions, not a 3,000-word novel. Researching Mercury the planet, not the car, the element, or the singer? Type Mercury minus car, minus Freddie, minus element. The solar system is all yours, free of noise. You can stack as many of these as you want. The more words you exclude, the more precise your results get. Most people waste time scrolling through irrelevant results because they never learn to tell Google what to ignore. Number 8. The 2-period range search. Stop typing cheap laptops and letting the algorithm define cheap for you. It's time to take control. Use 2 periods between 2 numbers, no spaces. Type laptops $200, 2 periods, $500, and Google only shows you results that fall within that exact price range. No more budget laptops that cost more than a car payment. You've just forced e-commerce sites to show you what you actually asked for. This works for anything with a number, transforming your search from a vague wish into a specific command. Want movies from the golden age of practical effects? Best sci-fi movies 1970, 2 periods, 1985. Google locks in on that specific window of film history. Looking for a used car with low mileage? Honda Civic 30,000, 2 periods, 60,000 miles. You won't see cars that have been driven to the moon and back. It works for weights, distances, calories, and years. If there's a number involved, 2 periods can filter it. Type dinosaurs 65, 2 periods 100 million years ago, and Google treats those numbers like a strict timeline. The 2 periods tell Google to stop guessing and to stay in its lane, and for once, Google listens. It's one of the most powerful shopping and research hacks, hiding in plain sight. Number 7. The Catfish Catcher. You can right-click any image on the internet and search it on Google. Google will show you every other place that same image appears online. This one trick can expose a fake person, a fraudulent product, or misinformation in seconds. Someone messages you with a profile picture that looks too perfect. Right-click the photo and search image with Google. Google's algorithm creates a unique digital fingerprint and scours its index for matches. If that same photo appears on dozens of other social media sites under different names, or on a stock photo website, you've caught a catfish. The image might be stolen from an influencer who has no idea their face is being used to scam people. This also works for product listings. If a seller's photo of a brand new laptop shows up on a review site from 2019, it's not brand new. If a picture of a vacation rental in Florida also appears on a listing in Spain, you've uncovered a scam. It works on news photos too. That shocking image someone shared on social media, claiming it happened yesterday in your city? Search it. Half the time it's from a different country, a different year, and has nothing to do with their claim. People share fake news because it triggers an emotional reaction, and they assume nobody will check. Now you can. Number 6. Find how to fix anything. You have a broken appliance. Your first instinct is to Google the problem, where you find a forum post from Dave from Ohio telling you to hit it with a hammer. This is not an effective repair strategy. Here's what experts do instead. They type the exact model number of the device, followed by file type :PDF, manual. This tells Google to only show you PDF files. Why PDF? Because it's the universal format for official documents. You're not getting a blog post or a forum comment, you're getting the original manufacturer-published manual that came in the box. Instead of Dave's advice, you get the actual engineer's instructions, the exact diagrams, the troubleshooting steps, the parts list, for free. Sony WH-1000XM4, file type :PDF, guide. This works on stuff that's 10, 20, even 30 years old. Those paper manuals were scanned and uploaded to the internet, and Google's crawlers found them. You can find the guide for your parents' old VCR or the lawnmower you inherited from your grandpa. This simple command can save you hundreds on repair technicians for problems you can solve in 10 minutes. Number 5. The Maps Street View Time Slider. Google Maps has a secret time machine hidden in plain sight. It's one of the most powerful and strangely emotional features Google has ever built. On Google Maps, drop the little yellow Street View man onto a road. In the top left corner, look for a small clock icon next to the address. If it's there, it means Google has driven that road multiple times. Click it, and a time slider appears. Now you can literally drag time backwards. You can watch a new skyscraper turn into a construction site, then an empty lot. Some locations, especially in major cities, go all the way back to 2007. That's nearly 2 decades of history, captured by Google's fleet of camera-mounted cars. People have used this to watch their entire neighborhoods change, or to see what an area looked like before they moved in. But sometimes they find something more personal. Some people have found images of family members who have since passed away, just casually standing outside their house, getting the mail on a random Tuesday in 2009, frozen in time forever on a Google server, a digital ghost in the machine. The feature works best in big cities, but even small towns often have a few years of history hiding in there, waiting to be discovered. Number 4. The Verbatim Button. Google is constantly fixing your searches. You type one thing, and it quietly searches for what it thinks you meant. It swaps words for synonyms, and ignores others. This is called semantic search, and while helpful for casual queries, it's a disaster if you need precision. This is a huge problem for legal research, academic work, or finding a specific quote. There's a trick almost nobody knows: verbatim mode. After you search, click the Tools button below the search bar, then click All Results, and from the drop-down, select Verbatim. Now Google is forced to search for exactly what you typed. No substitutions, no corrections, no autocomplete nonsense. Every single word must be present, exactly as you wrote it. Think of it like putting Google in a straitjacket. It has to stay exactly where you pointed it. Writers use it to check for plagiarism. Paste a unique sentence from your work, hit verbatim, and you'll see every site that has copied your exact words. Programmers use it to find solutions to specific error codes, where every character matters. Trying to find a weird old forum post where someone said, "The refrigerator smells like ambition?" A normal search will fail. A verbatim search finds that exact bizarre phrase. Number 3. The Scholar Cited by Button. Imagine a groundbreaking scientific paper was published in 1995. Science didn't stop. In the years that followed, hundreds of other researchers built on that work, confirmed it, or challenged it. That single paper started a conversation that has lasted for decades. You can find that entire conversation using the Cited by button on Google Scholar. Go to scholar.google.com and search for your topic. Under any result, you'll see a link that says Cited by, followed by a number. That number is how many other published papers have referenced this one. Click it, and you're now looking at a curated list of every paper that built on, argued with, or was inspired by the original idea. You've just built a family tree for a concept. Find the famous 1971 paper on the bystander effect, click Cited by, and you'll find over 3,000 follow-up papers. You'll find arguments that the original study was flawed, or that the effect reverses in online communities. You just went from one old paper to the entire living conversation around that idea. Here's the expert move. Once inside the Cited by results, look for the option to sort by date. This shows you the most recent papers first. You're not just following an idea through history, you're finding where that idea is right now, at the cutting edge of research. Number 2. The Word Popularity Contest. Google Ngram Viewer is a time machine for words and ideas. It is one of the most powerful and overlooked research tools ever created. Google scanned over 5 million books, dating back to the 1500s. They then indexed every single word and made the data public. Now you can search any word or phrase and watch a graph of its popularity appear, year by year, across 5 centuries of published history. You can literally watch a word be born, explode in popularity, and then slowly die out. Type in telephone, and watch the line flatline for centuries. Then, around 1880, it shoots straight up, precisely when humans figured out how to talk through a wire. Type in Frankenstein, and you can pinpoint the exact year Mary Shelley's novel was published. Now type God and science in the same search, separated by a comma. You can watch them trade places in cultural importance over the centuries, one rising as the other falls. It's 500 years of a philosophical argument visualized in a single graph. You can also use this to win arguments. The word bespoke sounds ancient, but an n-gram search shows it barely existed in books before the 1990s. It's actually newer than the Spice Girls. The tool is completely free, and most people have never heard of it, because Google buried it behind a name that sounds like a complex biology term. Number 1. The Proximity Detective. Most people search Google like they are sending a text message, throwing a few keywords in and hoping for the best. But there is a trick used by professional researchers called the around operator that changes everything. You vaguely remember reading something connecting dinosaurs and asteroids. You do not remember the exact words, just that they were mentioned near each other. Instead of typing dinosaurs asteroids and getting millions of results where those words might be paragraphs apart, you type dinosaur around for asteroid. That tells Google to only show you pages where the word dinosaur appears within 4 words of the word asteroid, not on the same page, not in the same article, within 4 words of each other. It is about context, not just co-occurrence. It is like telling Google, these 2 things were holding hands in the sentence I read. Go find it. The number in the parentheses is the maximum distance you will allow between the words. Around 2 is very strict. Around 10 gives more breathing room. This works for anything. Trying to find a study linking coffee and memory? Coffee around 3 memory. Tracking an article connecting a CEO to a scandal? CEO name around 5 scandal name. Suddenly you are not just searching. You are hunting. You are filtering out all the noise and targeting the exact relationship between concepts. Most people spend 20 minutes clicking through bad results. This gets you there in one search. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.